The man in prison kept counting down his sentence, but instead of waiting, he chose to take a huge risk and escape. He wet his hair to create a modern hairstyle, then changed into a prison guard's uniform he had secretly stolen. But this was just the beginning of his crazy plan, because he was going to walk out of prison right in front of everyone. Turns out he had been locked up for 5 years, but neither the guards nor the inmates recognized him. Apparently, he shaved the beard he had been growing for a full year, just before escaping. Next step, the key to the exit door. He took advantage of the crowd and secretly stole a guard's access card. Now, all he had to do was swipe the card at the door to get his freedom back. But at that exact moment, a hand suddenly stopped him. Luckily, the guard thought he was the new guy, so he let him go without suspicion. Still, the man didn't drop his guard, because in 10 minutes, the real guards would realize he had escaped and he'd be hunted down by the police. So he found a patrol car inside the prison. He quickly started the engine and drove it straight to the airport. But instead of taking a plane, he went to the second-hand market next to the airport and bought an old waiter's vest for just $3. Then he acted like a parking guy. A rich man mistook him for a valet, gave him a $10 tip, and the car keys. Without hesitation, he drove off in that rich guy's luxury car. Even crazier, this wild, life-risking escape plan was all triggered by one word from his girlfriend. That's when the detective handling the case started hunting him. They discovered that the man had really gone to his girlfriend's house. But the house was empty. Faced with someone that desperate for love, the detective who had worked this case for years was left speechless. This guy had not only escaped prison, but still had 4 more years left on his sentence. Just as the detective was about to arrest him, the situation took a sharp turn. The sharp-eyed escapee noticed a metal wire on the detective, one he recognized. Turns out, the detective had been facing big trouble even before this. A group had not only stolen a bank's vault, but also changed the vault's password. And when the experts finally cracked the code, a sudden explosion happened. Turns out the robbers knew someone would try to open the vault and had rigged it with a bomb. With that massive blast, all the evidence the police needed was destroyed. But while facing off against such smart criminals, the escapee noticed something strange. A wire made of Canadian dollar steel. His cross-border observation stunned the detective, since that type of currency hadn't even been officially released by the bank yet. So the detective asked the man to share more about the robbers from inside his prison cell. But surprisingly, the man didn't just refuse. He demanded the detective get him out of prison. The man got his freedom back, but since the agency only had a $700 budget, they could only put him in an old hotel.